Blind computer users could not add the Echo 2 speech synthesizer to their early Apple computers, and Apple eventually offered the outspoken speech synthesizer. Echo 2 speech synthesizer. The Echo 2 was a plug-in companion card speech synthesizer card for the Apple II and Apple IIe personal computers that allowed applications to use speech synthesis. With the launch of macOS 10.2 Jaguar, Apple introduced universal access. This software was supposed to improve accessibility greatly for people who are blind, have low vision, and have physical limitations. However, it did not work as well as expected. In April 2005, Apple OS X 10.4 comes with VoiceOver and screen magnification. By the time OS 10.5 Leopard was released, there were significant accessibility improvements, including the Alex text-to-speech voice and Braille support. In June 2009, Apple released the iPhone 3GS with VoiceOver. This was the first screen reader that used gestures on a touchscreen. An honorable mention, Siri, Fall 2011 iPhone 4S. Fall 2011 iOS 5 freed all users from the need to set up a device from a computer, and VoiceOver users get the ability to perform their own setup with the screen reader. iOS 6 Fall 2012. Apple introduced physical disability features with assistive touch and guided access. Guided access enabled restricting access to the elements of iOS. For example, disabling the volume or home button, or preventing users from accessing certain apps. Assistive touch was the first iOS feature that supported those who otherwise had difficulty making gestures effectively because of motor delays. iOS 7 Fall 2013. Accessibility was moved up from the very bottom of the general category to the top in iOS 7. Skeuomorphism was out, and thin fonts, transparent layers, and animation were in. These were profoundly bad moves for people with accessibility, especially for low vision users. Accessibility shortcut. The feature formerly known as Triple Click Home allows you to turn accessibility features on and off with a triple click. With devices without a home button, this is a triple click of the power button. Switch control extended the idea of an interface that supported users with motor delays. With it, you use external switch devices, which are two state buttons. VoiceOver handwriting support is an interesting, seemingly niche feature that allows a VoiceOver user to input text by drawing print text characters with a finger on the screen. If a blind user is familiar with the shape of these characters, he or she enters handwriting mode via the rotor and can then start writing with a finger. Subtitle and captioning. Movies and TV shows purchased from iTunes or acquired from other sources can be viewed with closed captioning or subtitles. Made for iPhone hearing aids. Technological improvements in Bluetooth Low Energy Space, plus a concentrated effort by Apple, extended the Made for iPhone program to hearing aids, MFI program hearing aids that the company began certifying as compatible with iOS devices. iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, Fall 2014. The plus-sized iPhone started including display zoom, a feature where the resolution is decreased, therefore making the user interface larger and easier to view. iOS 8, Fall 2014. The QuickType keyboard, which enabled text prediction and displayed a bar with typing suggestions above the virtual keyboard, also had a profound effect on the way VoiceOver users were able to type on the screen. The new direct touch typing mode allowed a VoiceOver user to put both hands on the virtual keyboard and just begin to type. Quick type auto correction and VoiceOver's own know-how combine to correct the typist's mistakes with a high degree of accuracy. Support for third-party keyboard is an iOS-wide feature with accessibility implementation. Braille screen input, like the handwriting feature added in iOS 7, Braille screen input facilitates on-screen text entry. Speak screen, once enabled, just two-finger flick down from the top of the screen to have its contents, email, web pages, or books, for example, spoken. Apple Watch, spring 2015. Came with VoiceOver and Zoom out of the box. Later versions added wheelchair workouts. iOS 9, fall 2015. VoiceOver users with the supported phones get access to the first level 3D touch gestures as well as peek and pop 3D touch items joined the assistive touch menu. Touch accommodations. This new feature allows a user to adjust the sensitivity of the touchscreen. Keyboard behavior. New options allowed a user with a physical disability to control the way a hardware keyboard responded to their touch. Switch recipes for switch control. When using switch control, each switch performs a different function. The switch recipes feature effectively allows a user to create combinations of actions that can be performed collectively by giving that task a specific switch. VoiceOver text selection. VoiceOver text selection rotor changes. Changes to the VoiceOver rotor made it easier to select text by character, word, line, or page. iOS 10, fall 2016. Voicemail transcriptions became available, which is helpful for people with hearing impairments who might find sorting through voicemail easier with some textual guidance. VoiceOver users got a new pronunciation editor, enabling you to say or type a name the way VoiceOver should say it and save your correct pronunciations. VoiceOver image description. iOS 10 allowed you to select an image in Photos or in a message thread and have VoiceOver attempt to describe its characteristics. This wasn't full-on machine learning. Magnifier. Accessible directly from the control center or using the accessibility shortcut menu. Besides just magnifying what's in front of the camera, you could also apply color filters, just like handheld magnifiers. Color filters. iOS had offered a grayscale toggle since iOS 8, but now there were color filters designed to adjust the screen view based on the needs of users with three common forms of color blindness. Software TTY. iPhone users had always been able to connect their phones to a TDD telecommunication device for the deaf, provided they had the proper hardware adapter. As of iOS 10, you could place or receive a TTY call entirely in software, as well as connect to the TTY relay service. iOS 11, fall 2017, VoiceOver support for drag and drop, VoiceOver specific gestures for iPhone 10 owners. VoiceOver also added to the new method of moving apps that was a part of iOS 10. Now it was possible to use the rotor to select and drag multiple apps anywhere on any home screen. iOS 11 was the first iOS release to support Face ID devices because some people with disabilities, particularly those who are blind and have prosthetic eyes, are unable to give the required attention to the Face ID sensor. iOS added a toggle that allowed the phone to unlock without requiring eye contact. Smart invert colors. Smart invert colors invert everything except images, unlike its older sibling Invert colors, which inverts everything including images. Type to Siri. If you can't speak or it's inconvenient, Type to Siri gives you the option to issue Siri commands from the keyboard. Fall 2018, iOS 12. Siri shortcuts. Automating tasks with a voice command or by pressing a single button offers good accessibility benefits for people with all kinds of challenges. Live listen. It's been possible to use the iPhone's microphone as an ambient sound amplifier, sending out to a hearing aid in iOS 12. The live listen feature was extended to AirPods. iOS 13. Fall 2019. Voice control. The latest and completely new accessible feature announced for iOS 13 as well as macOS Catalina has a very old name. Before Siri had a feature actually called voice control. You could initiate a phone call or play a song with a voice command, and that was about it. The new voice control is modern and much more thorough. Take on controlling your device with your voice. It's designed for people with physical disabilities who have difficulty with touch gestures or using a mouse and keyboard. Voice control can create a number grid on the screen, then that way you can include a grid area's number in your command to the device and act on items in that grid location. Dark mode. In dark mode, the system uses a darker color palette for all screens, views, menus, and controls, and it uses more vibrancy to make foreground content stand out against the darker backgrounds. Mouse support. Mouse support allows users to interact with the elements on the screen without having to touch the screen. Accessibility menu was moved out of the general screen and onto the main settings page. iOS 14, Fall 2020. Double tap back. Execute an activity by double tapping or triple tapping the back of your device. Voiceover uses AI to read accessibility labels, images, and other UI elements and allows you to interact with them. This is great for pages and other apps that are not accessible, and VoiceOver will help you with that. Sound recognition. Get notified of ambient sounds that require attention. Sign language and FaceTime. FaceTime is now optimized for sign language. Hit the subscribe button and remember to enable the notification bell to get all notifications of Blind Power uploads. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.